Hey folks, Dave Brown here with the New Populist. Thank you again for joining me. We have just got word that the anti drag queen law from Tennessee has been ruled unconstitutional by a federal judge. And we should have seen this coming. He blocked the law from going to effect a few months back, but now it's official. He says it is unconstitutional. And I think at this point, it will keep going higher up in the courts and perhaps in the future be overturned by the circuit court or the Supreme Court. Now, he gave a 70-page opinion, but on the first page, something jumped out at me. And he said that people have the right to express one's identity, which is true, you do. But I would argue that drag is not an identity. It's a costume that you put on and you do your performance, and then later you take it off. So the fact that he's saying that I think is a bit odd. Now, what is an identity? For example, if you are a transgender female like Rachel Levine, that is an identity. That is how she lives 24/7. It's not a costume that she's putting on or taking off. Is it a great look? Well, we all have our own opinions, but that is an identity. Transgender people have an identity. A drag queen is, in my opinion, not an identity. Now, one thing that frustrates me is that people don't really understand exactly what this law is talking about when it says it wants to ban certain behaviors in public. And again, it was characterized as being anti-LGBTQ plus. But when you look at the law, it specifically says adult cabaret performances that have a prurient interest, which is overtly sexual, and this applies to go-go dancers, exotic dancers, strippers, and yes, male or female impersonators. So I think it's pretty specific. And what this law would not ban, in my opinion, is something like a drag queen story hour. Now, we have to separate what we personally approve of and what is or should be illegal. In my opinion, drag queen story hour is not covered by this law, and it should not be illegal, even if I personally would not have my kids go to a drag queen story hour. So in Tennessee, if you want to dress up as a drag queen and read to children, even before this law was struck down, this would not be illegal. And I would actually argue further that something like drag performances, if it were, say, for example, just singing, would not be illegal either or covered by this law. So this whole hoopla that this was just targeting gay people in Tennessee, I think was just nonsense. I don't think it was at all. And of course, as we know, in our modern day, there's always these overreactions by everybody on both sides, and it's kind of ridiculous. Now, if we're talking about adult cabaret performances, what exactly is that? Now, I will show you a clip here, and I've showed it before. This would be an adult cabaret performance by a female impersonator that the Tennessee law would cover. If you're squeamish, turn your head right now. Here it is right here. This is a adult cabaret performance that should not be performed in a public space. I think you can see why. This is not somebody singing. This is not somebody just reading. This is, let me get off the screen here. I had enough of it. That is an adult cabaret performance. And that is what the Tennessee law was targeting, not just drag queens in general. If you were going to put on a skimpy outfit and dance like that in public in front of children, yes, that would be illegal, and you could not do that. And you shouldn't. Take that to the club, take that to the bar. No one is stopping you from doing your drag as long as it's in the appropriate setting and not in front of children if you're going to have your man bits hanging out and your rear end hanging out, you're dancing in that provocative manner, which clearly is, as the Tennessee law says, prurient. But apparently, this federal judge disagrees, and again, it will keep going up the chain, perhaps getting to the Supreme Court, and hopefully it gets overturned, because I don't think the law went too far. And it really was fairly narrow in what it was talking about, and it wasn't broadly attacking all drag queens as far as drag queens appearing in a public space. Just that very specific thing, adult cabaret performances appealing to a prurient nature. That was it. Not excessive at all, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. Well, that's it for now. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.